Hello, and welcome back to another episode of NorthKakChat. I'm your host, Craig Tone, and these are my co-hosts, Kenny McKoy and Curtis McKoy. This week, we got a more forward-looking video for you. All right, today we're going to start digging our way out of the quicksand. For me, I've been traveling in a big circle lately, and I've been thinking to myself, how do I get out of the circle? How do I go straight on the forward path? And is kind of learning from others getting me stuck.
Yeah.
Wow. That's heavy.
That's
Right.
deep.
That's heavy.
And then Kenny's been pulling his hair out, trying to figure out what kind of activities he's going to do. He found out they took down the celebration station over there by where he lives. And what's he going to do now?
I couldn't believe it, man.
Not a big putter,
Yeah.
And Curtis is overjoyed that justice has finally been served.
Yeah.
But why did it take so long?
Why did it take so long?
Right?
Yeah, why did it take so long?
And that's what we're gonna figure out. Try and figure out while we sit here today.
Any ideas of why did it take so long?
Well, I mean, honestly, it shouldn't have took that long. I mean, and we going by what we see.
Mm-hmm.
I think the justice system needs to be overhauled. It's long overdue. Just like they need to.
Well, whose justice are you talking about? First of all.
Well, I think I'm just talking about justice, period. But it's two different types of justice. It's poor justice and rich justice. The more money you have, the easier it is, and the less likely that you go spend some time in prison. The poorer you are, the more time you're gonna spend in prison, and the less help you're gonna get. So I think it needs to be a even playing field as far as the legal system, police, videotape releasing of police shootings. I think all of that has to be revamped, because just like with any company, you have people who taking advantages of certain things at the job, and the people who's supposed to be there to stop them not doing it because they think they're above the law. So people are not being held accountable. These police chiefs, the captains, the sergeants, they are not being held accountable. And it should just like anything that happens, even at my job, book your roll downhill. So it needs to be when something is when somebody go out there and do something wrong, kill somebody unjustly, then not only are they getting in trouble, but their trainer is getting in trouble, because he should be able to see certain characteristics inside an officer. I mean, he's no psychologist, but they have to go through some kind of psyche training. So when you see these guys who, I call them the guys who've been bullied in high school. You see these guys who've been bullied in high school, and they want to become a police, not to serve and protect, not to do a good job, but for some get back. And they may not say it, it may not appear within the first 2 or 3 years, but it's in their heart. You know what I'm saying? Those are the guys that they can be officers, but they need counseling, they need help. I'm an avid hunter. If you go and shoot a deer more than 10 times and a game warden come upon you, that's inhumane for an animal. But you will shoot somebody 10 times in the middle of the street. Something is wrong. And I think at this point, people don't want to admit what's going on. Because it don't really touch them. When it don't touch you, it's somebody else's fault. But yeah, all of that stuff needs to be. Everything needs to. I mean, we've been dealing with these laws for centuries now, and come on, man,
Right.
That stuff needs to be changed, man.
You're absolutely right. You hit on a good factor, they're picking up on other people's actions and just following their lead. I'm pretty sure if the person that was leading the group like that was a non-confrontational person that didn't get in trouble at high school, didn't have any issues and stuff like that, that was doing the training himself, that would rub off on the people that he's training. But in the same aspect, if you got a person that's a b-hole training other people, those other people are going to follow right behind him because they see that what he's doing, the negative side, it's the norm for them. If he's doing it, he can get away with it. You can do it. You can get away with it too, following his lead. And that's the whole negative light of the whole thing. But You're right, though. It needs to be deconstructed and constructed again.
Yeah. And then to kind of, I'm sorry, Craig, go ahead.
Are you sure it's not the citizens' fault?
In some instances, it is.
There's a vice there, man. I mean, it's 50-50. You got some knuckleheads out there want to race cops and want to not follow the orders, man. It's hard to maintain yourself when somebody's not listening to you.
Yeah, but don't
if you're coming from a cop's view.
Yeah, but don't get off. See, when you say stuff like that, that's just like saying all lives matter, because they're not killing white males in the street, right?
Right.
I mean,
right.
They are. It just
But
doesn't make the news. It's not as exciting as Black Man.
No, not at the rate where they killing black men. Not at the rate where they killing black men.
I get it. I get what you're saying, but it's based off of the news, right? It's not off actual numbers.
Yeah, that too. But see, it is when they kill somebody who's of a different ethnic group, it's usually the person is irate and got a weapon and shooting at the police, right? Those are two different types of situations. We're not talking about Mike Brown with his hands up and getting shot in the face twice. We're not talking about that. You talking about, okay, they are killing white males, right? But these white males aren't, hey, I got my hands up. These white males either shooting back, stabbing somebody, running at them with a knife. It's not the same situation. And if you look at the facts and you look at the stats, it's something going on with the police, and it's been going on for years, but it's something going on that people are now waking up to, because there's been a lot of people walking around in sleep, but it's something going on with the police and black people. If all the crime, if the bad neighborhoods are the black neighborhoods and the police there all the time, why the crime ain't getting solved? If we really gonna start digging something up, right?
But I mean, do they want the crime to stop?
No, they don't want the crime to stop.
Then all the news outlets will run out of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, but and this is just me. You can't do my brother who on here right now. You can't do him like that and think that everything will be hunky dory tomorrow. I can't. I'm not built like that. I'm not for all that talking. You ain't gonna sit on his neck and then with your hands in his pocket, and then he called out for his mama, and I supposed to sit by weeks? Nah, bro, I ain't doing that. And that's just real talk. See, it's getting to the point now to where, you got a lot of people that's like, hey man, this got to stop. I mean, and they killing somebody every day unjustly. Look at the guy in Alexander, I think it's Alexander County, going towards East North Carolina.
Yeah.
They won't even release the tape. If it's not, don't redact nothing. We don't need you to redact nothing. You need to release the tape. Release the tape. You don't need to fix nothing. We want to see it all. Release the tape so we can make our own judgment of what exactly is going on. And just because you're a policeman, I done told people at the gun range this too. People who even own the gun range, people who work at the gun range. Just because you work there don't mean that you're a professional and you know more than I do. And that go for the police. Just because you work there and you got a badge don't mean that what you doing is right. And if you sit back and watch and let things happen and see somebody doing something wrong, you are just as guilty as the guy who done it. If all three of us go to a creek and Craig push me in the water and Kenny stand there and don't do nothing, he might as well push me in there too. And that's for all the officers who stand by and let stuff or know that it's a bad. It's officers that work on the police department that know it's bad, cops that but don't want to say nothing because fear of either
fear.
You know what I'm saying, getting fired.
Well,
you know what I'm saying.
You don't know their situation. I mean, it could just be it's not one bad cop.
Hold on.
It's the whole station.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
Keys right there.
And it's unfortunate that it's that way. You have stations, and I've heard this from a couple of retirees. They didn't want to go to a certain station because they heard the environment there was racial. There's a separatism there. There was you had blacks on one side of the precinct, and you had whites on one side of the precinct, and it was he could have retired there. I mean, he could have come out and did doing security at Eckerd Drugs. Could have did that. The only reason he didn't want to go work at that precinct because there was histories there to where the black people were treated differently than the whites. I mean, it's weird, but it's there. It happens, and it's unfortunate.
If you sit back and think that we don't have a problem in the police department, I don't know. You got to be asleep. You got to be asleep because I got police friends that I talk to that know for a fact. I'm not talking about no hearsay.
No,
I'm not talking about no hearsay. I'm talking about actual people who work there that say, yeah, we got a problem in here. And it's certain people that they don't fool with. It's certain things that happen at night that you will never hear that happen in Charlotte or happen in surrounding areas that you will never hear about that go down. So
there's a lot.
It ain't just a California issue. It ain't just a Florida issue. It ain't just a Ohio issue. It's a nationwide issue. We got a pandemic of bad cops, and the ones who in charge are as just much. They were more responsible than the officers who doing it because they see what type of people they hiring. They see what type of people they hiring. They know their background, and if not, do a further. I mean, to go get a gun permit, it take months and months to get a gun permit. A concealed carry, it take months and months. It should take months and months for you to get hired on to be a cop, not just out there training and you got muscles and you can do this and that. They need to do a psyche background check. They need to do a history of your life, your friends, who you knew, who you went to school with. It need to be somebody accountable for that. You know what I'm saying? Because these people who are working in our neighborhoods don't understand the black community. Period, man. I mean, I'm saying what a lot of people ain't really said yet. And some people scared to say. And we spent all this money on tasers, right? They taxed us what was it, 32 cents? The taxes went up all across the board, right?
Right.
Use the taser. Ain't nobody using the taser. Then you got caught to say, oh, I thought I had my gun, my taser in my hand, but I had my... If you don't know the difference between your hand on a taser and a gun, you should not be working at the police department, period.
Nope.
You got... It's some of the stuff that's been going on for the last couple of years, you know what I'm saying? Like a cop go to somebody else's house, kill this dude, kill him in his house, and she say, I thought I was at my house. What?
I want a hair sample and I want a urine sample now.
You go to... Wait a minute.
Did she get away? I think she got away, did she? Yeah. She
got away with it.
Yeah.
You wait a minute. Let's go down. You go to somebody else's house. Your key don't fit. Your key don't fit the door. You knock on the door and say, why you in my house? What? Bruh, come on, man. Some of the stuff is just in your face plain. If you try to ignore it, or you try to say that this is something that, you know, it can't be, man. It's right there, just like this videotape. Now, going all the way back, the trial should have been 2 days. That's all I watched the tape.
Should it have been 2 days?
Yeah,
I think it shouldn't have been. It shouldn't have been an hour.
Yeah,
Thank you, Craig.
yeah, it should have been an hour.
It took them over 6 months to get to that point. So
yeah,
everything should have already been hashed out. Should have been walked in, guilty, walked out.
Yeah,
exactly. And have y'all noticed that these things that they're bringing on TV now happened years back and months back, and nobody knew about them?
Yeah.
How it's all kept hush hush.
It's always been that way.
Yeah.
And whenever I see it, like some instances, there's people that are innocent that have been sitting in prison for like 12 years, and they get out and they don't get nothing as a nothing as compensation. They just get out of jail. I'm like, you just ruined that guy's life for 12 years. Yeah. Just sitting
and
around.
They got no choice but to go back to crime. Yeah. It's sad, man.
And I'm not saying
you just ruined that dude's life.
Yeah, I'm not saying that every time that you get pulled over or we see something on TV that black people are innocent. Believe me, I'm not saying that, because I done seen certain situations where somebody gets shot and I'd be like, hey man, you shouldn't have pulled that gun up. That's why you got shot. But it's becoming too prevalent that these cops are just murdering people, because that's what it is. And then, like you say, we seeing stuff from years back that they just bringing up that should have been. This stuff should have been. This is what I'm saying. The ones who are in charge, when you see something like that, it should not be 6 months later and we not seeing this tape and hearing about it, and y'all just now doing something to this officer. He on work leave. You know what I'm saying? He's still getting paid. I don't want to pay him. He done murdered somebody. I don't want him getting no pension. That's another thing. If you do something like that, no pension, man. You don't get no pension, no nothing. You can't work for ain't no going to no another city, no another state and work for the police department. And that's why I say it's got to be restoration for the families. Revamp. They got to revamp the whole thing, man. They got to stop this craziness, this idiocy, man. For real.
So what do you do with the two sides to every story, right? Because I mean, for all the bad cops that get portrayed in the news, there's also the ones that actually end up being right in their situations. But what you see come out first is the tape that does something bad. But then you get your body cam footage and it turns out that he didn't do anything bad. He did the correct thing. You know, just like LeBron James's little spill that he had recently. Yeah. That cop saved a whole bunch of people's lives, and he's calling for that guy's cancellation. Like,
saved a whole bunch of people, man.
There's like two sides to everything. Like, I agree that there's been like a lot of racial crimes going on lately, and that's between citizens and cops. Just like old boy walked in and killed all those Asian people, you know? Yeah. Like, it really comes down to the news and what they portray. I mean, it's you'll believe that there's a high spike in like African American crimes if the news only covers African American crimes. They don't cover anything else. Right. So I mean, you don't necessarily get the whole story. But yeah, the whole thing is out of whack, you know, and it does need to be looked at. But you also need to look at the opposite spectrum where there's no cops. And then it's just you and your community doing the policing, right? Does Tiffany down the street kick you out of the community based off some lies and stuff like that, and everybody in the community holds you at gunpoint, tell you to leave? Or is everybody going to judge fairly, you know? Because there's always that bias. Yeah. So are the citizens going to hold down the law, or are you going to have a group of people that holds down the law that is known as the police? I mean, everybody can take care of their own, but when it's just you trying to take care of yourself amongst a bunch of people in your community, you want to make sure you want to return Bill's shares, or Bill's going to have your ass. Yeah. And that I totally understand that. And I'm not saying that we should be lawless. And it is some good cops. I know some good cops. Yeah. But on the other hand,
I had my CDLs for 28 years. I was held to a higher standard. We gotta also get past this thing where we giving so many people so many chances. When you are an officer of the law, you are held to a higher standard. You are supposed to be more responsible, just like a judge. You are held to a higher standard. You ain't like you are no longer like a regular citizen. It ain't no 0.8 for no officer if he get a DWI or he get pulled over. It's lower than that. He's not considered like a regular citizen. He should know better.
I don't believe in that at all.
Yeah, it's real. Just like truck driving. It's
if
like
you do anything bad, that's it. You ain't coming back.
It like truck drivers. It's 0.04 or something like that. 5. It may be different now, but it was way lower than the in the national average. Even if you're not in your car, even if you're not in the truck, if I'm driving my car, I still can't have a blood level higher than like 0.04. It's a 0.06.
No, man, I done seen people get busted for just putting the Listerine in their mouth. You know, the OG Listerine is just alcohol.
Yeah.
And they do a breathalyzer test and it picks.
Yeah. So, but yeah, it's some good cops, man, out here that need to be congratulated and put where they need to be as far as above some of these bad officers. Because, everybody can be retrained. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can, go through some kind of retraining process where they can kind of get more familiar with people of a different race. But you got a lot. You still gonna have those officers that got that hate in their heart, man. I just don't believe in retraining 30 years of somebody been teaching you hatred, and now you work for the police department. If you not, if you're not out here doing something you ain't got no business, we're gonna keep going from this subject because we kind of tired dragging this out. If you're not doing anything wrong and you just out there doing your job, I'm not talking about you. Matter of fact, I hope you be safe out there. I hope that nothing happens. But those officers out there that's not doing what they're supposed to be doing and treating people any kind of way, pulling people over for no reason, asking you why you going slow. Yeah, it's been officers pulling people over for going 65 and a 70 and just being a total tailhole, man. Just, you know what I'm saying? So some of this stuff when they look at the tapes at the end of the night, I don't know who goes through when they dump they cameras. I don't know who go through them. They need to be saying something, man. They need to be, hey man, you on suspension with no pay for 2 weeks if you ever do that again. And we're gonna be watching you from now on. So when something like that happens, your badge number comes every time you dump. Your badge number, that's the first one we looking at. We ain't worried about Jim, James, Tom, Sam, who don't never have no problem. You know what I'm saying? But see, people are not holding people accountable, man. You know what I'm saying? They letting people run wild out here like wild dogs and doing stuff to people.
Listen, you're talking about cops needing to connect with the community. So what we need to do is petition. Every time a cop stops you, they need to come up to your car and they need to hand you a plate of Caribbean food.
I'm done.
That way they can make more black friends.
Well, hey, that's the way you do it with Caribbean food. Because if you don't eat Caribbean food, you're not black. That's right, I said it.
It all ties in.
I want my plantains now.
So let me ask you something, Craig. Do you think when you learn from somebody else that you get trapped into because the learning curve, you're supposed to be going up. But if you start learning from somebody, do you think you get trapped in a circle where you're really not learning nothing anymore?
Well, you know, there's always like a little transition that can be made. Like, I know for me personally, whenever I sit and I have idle time, right, things pop into my brain, and I try to go and like learn different things about it. But you know, there's some things that don't always lead to the roads I want them to lead to. Even though I may take the steps, like writing them down in a journal or something, you know, sometimes you get lost and you can't really figure out the necessary steps you need to take to get past those ideas, right? So you just have a bunch of journals with a bunch of ideas just sitting there, right? Especially if you're not a business-minded person, right? You're a creative. You're trying to figure out how to implement all this stuff in there. And eventually you start to dig yourself into this hole where you've just been digging for so long on this one idea, you forgot where you even started. You're like, what was I thinking about again? You know, it's really been
a vortex.
Yeah, it's really been a lot like that for me lately. So I'm just not moving on the goals that I want to move on. It's like having a New Year's resolution every day and then forgetting what it is the next day. So it becomes hard, man. And even when I try to put myself in a situation where I can like read different books and media and watch YouTube and stuff like that, it kind of just feels like I get put into this black hole where nothing gets accomplished, you know? So I get sucked in and I'm kind of just sitting there floating in space. Like I'll have an idea to go out and shoot some pitches, and then next morning I completely forget about it, you know? And then some things where I want to jump on it right away, I look up some like YouTube videos, maybe figure out how to turn that idea into some money. And you know, whenever you click on those YouTube videos, it's all designed to be clickbait. It's like, how to start a business with no money. And the first thing that comes out of the guy's mouth is get a fucking job. You know, that's dissatisfying. Like how is that going to help anybody?
Yeah. No, it's not, really not.
Right?
Golly.
And then it just came to me like, you know, I'm looking at all these people getting all this advice, but their advice doesn't necessarily apply to me. Maybe their successes don't apply to me at all. And these so-called experts aren't actually experts in what I need them to be. And you watching YouTube videos, clicking on these clickbait titles, which they're designed to be, right? That's getting somebody else rich. That's putting money in somebody else's pocket. You're not getting any benefit from that.
I feel like
the question is, where the hell do I go from here to be a better person?
Man, that's a rough spot, Craig, that you in. But you know what? As you're talking, I'm thinking about me too. I'm thinking about it's so hard to get stagnant in the process of developing yourself, because you it's like you got the ladders there to get out the hole, but you forgot how to climb, or you don't know where to start. Do I put this feet first, or this? Do I hop on it? You don't know where to start to get going. You know what you want to do, but you don't know how to go about starting it. And then you're right. You watch the YouTube videos, and everybody, I can make you rich. And the next thing you know, you're paying them $90 a month for some kind of seminar. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to use none of your money. It's like garbage. You know, it ain't no true easy way, or it's not a true way that people can explain to you how to be a millionaire. They can, but they won't. That's why they, you know what I'm saying? It's like sometimes you listen to them people, it's like reading a legal document. You can't understand nothing they talking about, because it's like, it's not that they more intelligent or nothing like that, but they just going around, show me how to make the money. Yeah. What do I got to do? Do I put it over here?
And you know, I feel like that, and people are like, "Oh, you just don't understand because they're the millionaires. They speak a different language." I'm like, no, maybe they just didn't teach you anything, and that's why they're millionaires.
Exactly.
People like you are sheep, and you click on it.
Yeah.
Right.
And give them your debit card and keep buying those instructions.
But you know, the one thing, like,
silly,
because I do watch YouTube videos and I do learn stuff, right? So, and you can take the good stuff from the bad, and then one thing that's like sticking is this one YouTube channel called Think Media, right? And in their little intro, like the first things they say is like, because they go over, do you want to have a YouTube career? Do you want to start a YouTube career? And the number one thing is you gotta like start before you're ready. So it's like the intro goes, you just gotta hit record, right? And I mean, it's simple, but it takes a lot of courage to hit the record button, you know?
Right. Yeah, that is true.
Because as humans, we want to look perfect on camera.
Right.
You know, we want everything. We don't want a spotless face, and we want the nice clothes to be on there. But really, the way I look at it is reality beats all the dress up and everything. You know what I'm saying? We discussed this before about the scary movies and what really make a movie scary. It's not that magical demon that comes out of a rock. That's not really scary. It's not that monster that come out the water that's got 4 or 5 eyes and eat people. That's not the scary thing. The scary thing is that guy sitting in a car while it's pouring down raining and he's smoking a cigarette and he's been watching you for 30 minutes. That's what's scary. You know what I'm saying? So the reality of making these videos, I think, is better. And I think that's when they say just hit play, but that it's hard to just hit play, because on some point, you know what I'm saying, you want people to look at your videos. And until I get to the point where you don't care who looks at your videos, whether it's negative or positive, you know what I'm saying, you putting everything out, you putting yourself out there. You know what I'm saying? You put yourself out there on Front Street. You know,
another thing they say is because you're talking like how they describe it, right? It's like you want to get the perfect video. He was like, he looked into the camera and he was like, look, your first video is gonna suck. It ain't gonna be great. He was like, but think 10 years from now you can go look at it and see where you've come. Right?
Yeah.
So I mean, one thing that I know is, in order to get good at something, you gotta continue to fail at it, you know?
Yep.
That is true.
But I don't know. Just I've been stuck in that realm. I mean, eventually I'll get out of it, right?
Yeah.
Well,
only hope.
I think we are all in a funk, man. I think we're all in a funk because it's weird you bring that up. And I hate to keep pointing back at precious COVID and the start of COVID, but I think it has something to do with that. The total shutdown of socialism. You going to work every day, trying to better yourself and get somewhere in life. That stopped. You speaking to people every day, giving them general instruction of what to do and how to do it. That stopped. I mean, you're the things that you did every day, you don't do anymore. And your brain, I can't even explain it. I'm in a fog. I'm in the same way you are, but it's like it's there, and I know I can get out, but how? I'm just floating around in a circle.
Boy,
how do I get out?
I thought it was just me.
I'm just doing this.
I thought it was just me.
And that's all I've been doing.
I just went through depression, man, and I thought it was just me. And I'm telling y'all, and I don't want to be me tooing on what Craig said, but I'm telling you, this what he described is how I feel. Like, I know I'm doing something, and I know I'm trying to do my best at it, but it seemed like I'm getting nowhere fast. It seemed like the year is, the more I try to do and to get things running and get things going, it's 2 months now past. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I'm not my value, man, my self value, I'm losing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I don't have. It's hard to. Like Craig was saying, it's hard to get started. And you look back, it's 4 weeks later. Okay, you say it again, it's hard to get started. Now it's 3 months. Now it's getting close to 2022. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're
all worried. Go ahead, Ferg. I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead.
We're all worried about our jobs. That's like top of the line. That's the meat of the whole situation. Mm-hmm. We don't know what our companies are preparing to do because we're sitting in this place where we're scared. We're what's next? What are they going to say next week? Has anybody heard anything? Asking that question on a constant basis. It's scary in a way because you don't know, but how can I put this? They know what their plans are. You just don't.
Yep.
And it leaves you to be kind of scared. You know, you don't know what's going to happen, and it's that on your head right there. That'll do it too.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you what. There's definitely those days I go to work and I think, man, what would I do if I lost all this, right?
Yeah.
But there's also those days when I go to work and I'd be like, man, I'll walk out of here right now.
Hey,
right,
man.
So I am taking steps to get out of the funk, right? So what I basically narrowed it down to is focus on one thing, right? I have all those ideas in my head and they're there. Don't even put them on paper. Don't worry about them right now. Right. So right now I'm focused on the whole photography thing, right? So I feel like I can get somewhere with like stock photography, right? People say that stock photography is oversaturated, but to me that doesn't matter. I really just want to build on the skills, right? But taking some stock photography and putting it away into a stock photography site is a way to generate some money. Like even if it generates like 5 pennies, that's fine. That's 5 pennies I didn't have,
it's
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I've signed up for a stock photo site. And I haven't put any photos on there, but that's fine. You don't have to put photos in there. The whole point is to start something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I got the stock photo thing started. I take pictures every day in the morning. I go out and I take some pictures of random things. Every day during lunch, I go somewhere and take pictures of things. And then I try to take some pictures at home in the afternoon, just some like photos of families, practice portraits. So you do some scenery in the morning, some landscape in the afternoon, and then some family portrait stuff in the evening. Just so I can try and build up those skills, get all the things I need for cameras and stuff. And some of those things you can review and put it on the stock photo site, right? Put tags on it and try and get like a little money out of it. So, I mean, the whole goal, like even if you watch YouTube videos about that, they're like, oh, you want to take these pictures sell the most. I feel like the whole point is put some pictures on there and you might get some kind of money, Take the opportunity.
Don't just stick to it.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing right now. Taking it one step at a time with one thing. It's just one thing that could potentially boost my revenue, right? Like I said, even if it makes 5 pennies, there's 5 more pennies than I had before.
Right.
You're right.
Which
focus.
Which is really, that's big though. I mean, you taking a step, and now that you teaching me, okay, this is how to get out of that rat race, that circle I am. Okay, I come up out of depression. Okay, stop trying to do 100 different things. Stop trying to do it. And that's what I've been trying to do. I've been trying to do 100 different things.
Yeah.
I need to quit doing that, and I need to focus on one thing, complete that goal. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna focus on one thing. My music is what's important to me. And I got a lot of music. Of course, you probably know, Craig, because you've been messing through my laptop. I know you have. I be hearing you at night. So, so I got it. That's I done seen people talking about selling your beats or selling, like instrumentals or, and that's something that I want to incorporate on the show too. Even when we do the intro and stuff like that. I mean,
Yeah,
I let
yeah.
you know.
There's a lot of music places too that I done seen. You know, like even some of the places that I use, you can put this stuff on the Apple Store, and put it on Spotify, load it up. You know,
What's going on in the world today? Where do I start? Well, I wanted to talk about today. I wanted to really get into, like, if this thing dies out and we get a super cure, that they come to find out that both antidotes will kill COVID off and you won't never get it again. We in hunky-dory mode again. Great old USA. What is the first thing you want to do to celebrate for yourself and your family? What would you do if you had the capability to do it? What would you do?
well,
Never mind money, how much it costs. What would be the first thing you would do?
well, we're going to
And
Korea.
be honest.
Going to Korea, South Korea. That's where
South
my
Korea?
wife wants to go. You know,
You don't want to go to North Korea?
Yeah.
if they let you in, I would. It'd be interesting to see what it's like. You know,
It's funny
It's
you
not-
said that.
not like
I
you're
don't
gonna
like
die.
tropical spots. Yeah.
a lot of people visit
It's-
North
it's-
Korea, so
I wanted to go to Singapore a while back. It's funny you said that, and I hate hot weather since the tour. I hate hot weather with a passion. Everywhere my wife want to go, I don't want to go because it's hot. She loves hot weather. I don't do hot weather at all. But I was looking at Singapore, and this has been a couple of years ago, and it doesn't even look like I even imagined. I mean, they're like high tech, you know?
Yeah.
The buildings even look different than ours. I mean, they have some nice, cool buildings. I mean, you'd be surprised. Just like Seattle. I didn't know Seattle was like that. I honestly didn't. Yet it rains constantly on a constant basis, but it's nice. If I retired, I'd try to go there, to the mountains or something like that, just to live with all the clean air.
And you don't even need to go to like some of those places to see that kind of stuff. Like
Right.
just the other day, I was walking downtown Rock Hill. Right, I'd never just walked around. Like if you get a chance, like in your city, just go to the downtown and like walk around. But I was walking around in Rock Hill, and I noticed there was like art galleries, there's museums for kids, there's kid art galleries. I was like, I ain't never
Wow.
seen or heard of any of these places before. It's interesting.
Yeah.
So like there's just little gems you'll find if you walk around there. Even though in the downtown area there's like art displayed like in the front of the place, like if you go in deeper, there's other elements to it. Like you'll see like
Yeah.
the usual Verizon store and sandwich shops and all this stuff, but there's like little different things you never thought you'd see. Like this, like 2 different hair salons that specialize in different types of hairs and all sorts of stuff. I was just like, I ain't never seen none of this before. And of course, there's a
Yeah.
bunch of breweries and stuff like that. And there's an actual kids activity center attached to like a church, but it's not part of the church. So it's just little
See,
gems.
things like that, we get out and explore, but we don't never get out and do it. We just, I don't know why. I want to get away from that. I want to, like you did, Craig. I'd like to go uptown and just walk around for a little bit, just to see what it's like. I mean, see what the other side's like. And there's a lot of new spots uptown that I've never even been.
Yeah.
Because I'm just shut in, don't want to go outside. Well, it's been COVID, and
Yeah.
that's not an excuse, but I really want to start getting out of the house and going to do stuff.
You know, I was thinking about something too. Is that even before COVID, I know we want to keep saying COVID, but even before COVID, I don't think we was living our best life, man. And I found myself, I was looking at this guy, and him and his girl was out jogging, and you know, I could tell they were so happy and everything. And I was like, man, I want to feel like that. I want to be doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? Not just out here just spending money, but just being out, going and doing stuff, going to a winery. I want to go to a winery so bad, not just to drink, but I just want to go and walk around, meet different people, you know what I'm saying, different stuff. And we got to start living, man. I mean, you know, most of us on the downstroke. So you either get busy living or you get busy dying, because it ain't nobody gonna give you happiness. That's something you got to get for yourself, man. And if you feel like that you ain't been living enough to see things, and I feel the same way. I'm saying this, but I'm talking about myself right now. You know what I'm saying? Because I felt kind of jealous when I seen them, happy couple, smiling and going to store, you all happy. You know what I'm saying? I felt like that. For? But then I was like, man, I got to start living, man. We got to start living, man. And I know sometimes we get caught up in the hoopla, what's going on in the world, man. But we can't live for the world, man. We got to live for yourself.
Nah. Man. We got to. I mean, we can't let anything just stop us from what we really want to do in life.
Right.
Is just be happy and just stay happy. Man, go see some stuff.
Craig, my dad and them probably used to go to the beach probably every other week.
Yep.
Kenny, no, we go to, man, we leave work, man, every other week, man. We going to the beach. Or we going down to go fishing, get some oysters. We just ride down there, visit family, coming right back. My dad and them always did that to let us know that even if you didn't have a whole bunch of money, it ain't about the money. And me and Kenny know this. This is why it's so frustrating for me and Kenny, because we know it ain't about the money. It's not about the money, man. It's the experience. I be telling people, the part of the race when you see the person happy in the beginning, they cheering everything, they ain't started running yet, and they start running. That's an important part. But the meat of the race in the middle, when you struggling and your family, you don't see your family no more. You got to push yourself. That's the meat part. We missing that meat part of our life. You know what I'm saying? By just, I'm gonna do this one day. I'm gonna go to Europe one day. And then we don't do it. We don't even start the race.
Right.
Don't even start.
We don't even start the race, so we don't even get that meat. We don't get that, okay, I gotta save $100, $200, $300, because I know I gotta have you gotta have $6,000, $7,000.
Yep.
To go and live like you want to in Europe. And that's excessive. Some people can do it less than that. But for me, I'm going with $6,000, $7,000. I'm gonna stay in the best hotel and I'm at the best rental car because I want to go there and live. You know what I'm talking about? Everybody else can go there and spend $2,000, $3,000. You know what I'm saying? Plane ticket gonna cost you $1,200, but you know what I'm saying. So, and you might catch a deal these new flights. But anyway, you got to live. You know what I'm saying? And everybody, you know, money and everything, but if you gonna do something, man, do it big, man. I'm telling everybody this shit because tomorrow you may not be here, man. And if don't nobody else know that, I know that. You may not be here, brother. Real talk. You may not make it through the night. And then I'd be darned if I get up or go to sleep and be in heaven and be telling God, man, you know what? I was gonna get up in the middle of the night and go to the gym. Nah, man, you better get up and go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? Because that may be what saved your life. So, I'm telling everybody, man, live your life. Live your life, man. It's crazy. You know what's crazy? It's crazy that we talking about this, man. I'm gonna let y'all have it, but I want to say this.
No, you good.
I was leaving out of physical therapy, and it was another gentleman coming out of there. He was about a little bit older than me, and he seen me with my walking cane and everything, and he was like, "Oh man, you know this old age and is really getting us." I was like, "Well, you know, I had a bad accident, and man, I could tell it was something on his brother heart, man. I could see it."
Yeah,
I can see the world, man. I'm telling you, and it ain't just us going through stuff, bruh. It ain't just us, and it ain't just black people. It ain't just white people. It's everybody in this world going through something right now. This man told me, he said, man, my blood pressure is 170 over something. I was like, man, I had the same thing. I said, man, they told me I was finna have a stroke at the hospital. I said, man, whatever bother you, whatever worrying you, you let it go. brother, I'm here to tell you, it ain't just us. It's everybody. But I'm going to tell you about this man. This man right here, I can see the pressure. When he knew, just that he knew that somebody else could understand. Oh, man. It was like a weight was lifted off his shoulders. It's the best feeling, but it's the hurtfulest feeling that we got to talk about hurt together, and that's what we got in common. You know what I'm talking about? Like, that's all we were talking about is hurt and pressure of the world. It shouldn't be like that. It shouldn't be. We shouldn't have a conversation where. And you know what? He was an older gentleman, a little bit older than me, but he didn't. I don't think he had nobody to talk to, man. We got to start talking. That's another thing too. I'm gonna say it again. I say it every show. Mental health is important. Yep. Mental health is important, bro. I'm telling you, mental health, man.
Yeah, that's my New Year's resolution. Talk to more people.
Yeah. Talk to more people. Get out there. That we just walking around in the park, chilling, taking pictures.
Yeah.
Let's do it, man.
Yeah.
Make a day of it. Just go chill. And I think men have it the worst because we're these burly type of guys. We don't need to talk to nobody. We keep all this stuff in ourselves. We can deal with it ourselves.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
No, you can't.
They've been telling us that for years.
Yeah.
Go talk to somebody. Go see somebody. No. Man, they've been telling me that all my life. It's good to talk to people.
You need to go talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm good.
I've been a recluse all my life.
Yeah.
All my friends are overseas. I just don't. I mean, I barely have any friends, but
ain't that something? You join the military.
Yeah.
You feel like you have a lot of friends. When you go in, you come out, you're like, where did everybody go?
Exactly. Right back there when you left. They're lifers.
Then you got to make new friends, and it takes all day. You're like, man, I can't make no new friends.
Yeah. Granted, I got friends now, but
you make the work placebo friends, you know.
Dang, Craig.
Yeah.
Really?
Excluding you, Curtis.
You graduated.
You got your diploma. You can go now.
You made the cut.
You're officially on the team.
What is it on The Bachelor? You got a rose, man.
Just hand them a rose.
You know what? When that lady called me tonight, hey, I want to talk about your car's extended warranty. I'm going to give her your number.
No.
Go ahead.
Tell him he got 10 cars sitting in the driveway.
Don't be like, he up too. You can call him right now. He up.
Go ahead. She might get a rose too. You never know. Look, I got extremely high standards for my friends, all right? So if you get a rose, you're real lucky.
Go. Hey, I appreciate it.
All right, boys, I think that's a wrap.
That is a wrap.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in for another episode of NorthKakChat. I've been your host, Craig Tone, and my co-hosts tonight were Kenny McKoy and Curtis McKoy. Right? Tonight we talked about the lingering issues in our justice system. You know, that hole that we talked about last week and trying to get out of it this week. And then we went on and we talked about what's next? What's next after COVID?
Mm-hmm.
But next week it's going to be a different topic. Maybe we'll break down the whole stimulus thing. But I don't know. What are we talking about, Curtis?
I think we should break down the whole stimulus thing. And what's taking so long with the money? I mean, if you owe them money, they'll come and get it. But when they got to pay you, shoot.
That's how it is.
That's what we do. Stimulus.
That's why some people ain't filed their taxes yet.
Right? Yeah, you ever notice how when you swipe your debit card, they take the payment out real quick, but when you go get a return, it take 3 to 5 days?
Right.
3 to 5 business days.
Business days. Tell them again. Business days.
Weekends don't count.
Then what the hell's a business day? I work Saturday.
For real.
All right, everybody. Come back next week. Join us on YouTube, Odyssey, and Facebook for some of our short form videos. And we'd love to see you back here and have ourselves a little NorthKakChat.
Good night. Chat.